to me, I think the marketplace of ideas wins. Right? If they're out there saying, like what you said the other day, where they're like, we're going to be great with women. And then people on Twitter are like, see, they've changed. And then they're like, oh, cool. So
what do you mean we're going to be great with women?
Yeah, but so I can wear whatever I want?
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, eventually, let's just say what it is. So you're saying kind of like the propaganda will mold the next generation into being unreasonable? Is that the idea? Like, do you feel your kid's generation is going to lack the processing skills to be able to see extremism for what it is?
I'm talking to Gad Saad, okay?
The Godfather, amazing guy.
Yeah, great guy. We're going back and forth. We're trying to get a date for him to come out here to be on the podcast. But in the interview, I said, let me ask you a question. Do you think the more shows we have on TV that show whatever maybe has influence over kids? No. I said, okay. While I'm talking to him, I said, do you think the more we see LGBTQ, the more we see Nickelodeon with a trans person coming out and doing shows on kids, do you think that influences kids to think they're gay or to want to be gay? He says, no. I said, great. Well, I'm like, maybe you're right, maybe you're not. I don't know. So I go online and I type in the increased percentage of population being part of the LGBTQ community. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not.
Yeah.
In the last 30 years, it went from 1.1% to 2% to 3% to 5%. Today it's 5.4%. Why is it 5.4%? Did we all of a sudden have a lot of people in the LGBTQ community last 20 years? I don't know. Is it an influence? Is it shows? Is it TV? Is it somebody saying, maybe I am? It's the questioning, right? It's like my friend when we went to the nightclub at a gay club in Tennessee, which was the freaking best club I've ever been in my life. It was like the Studio 54 of Tennessee, underground place called Connections. It was happening. If you went there Friday or Saturday, you had a monopoly because it was
with the bell bottoms
You went
on
there every night?
I had
with the bell bottoms
on. I had my. You should see the clothes I was wearing. My hero was freaking Tony Manero. I mean, that was my hero. I was the Middle Eastern Tony Manero. And I don't know if you know who Tony Manero is.
Saturday Night Fever, baby.
Staying Alive. So I'd go there and I would do the whole thing. And then one day, one guy comes up to him and he says, hey, I like you. And he grabs him in the wrong places. Nowadays, a guy would do time, but my guy's like flipping out.
Yeah.
Because he's a soldier. And he says, you ever been with a man before? And he says, what?
Subtle.
He says,
I didn't know you were in the Navy.
He says, no. And he says, I like women. He says, he asked the question. And he says, how do you know you don't like men if you've never been with one? So now that line has been asked from me many times because I ran this club.
Sure.
So I said, dude, I just know.
Yeah.
Okay. I like girls.
Yeah,
I can tell you it's gravity. I like girls. Anyways, so we're driving back. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. No joke. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. My friend is like, bro, but how do I know? I'm like, what is the matter with you, buddy? He says, but how do I know?
Yeah.
How do I know?
Yeah.
Maybe there's only one way to know. I'm like, are you seriously doing this to yourself? He says, but do you know that was the topic of discussion?
You got to know, man.
In unit, we're doing push-ups. We're running 6 miles. He's asking at the chow hall. But I
Poor
don't
guy
know.
was conflicted.
He was conflicted.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make to you is,
Pat, I'm confused now.
Yeah. What's David? Which part of the hot dog do you like better, the meat or the bun? Which is when you get a hot dog? Is it the meat or the bun that looks more appetizing?
You know
to
where
you?
this goes to. You know where this goes to. Think about and the reason why I'm convinced with this is the following thing, and I'll bring it to something that's very familiar to you, and that's porn.
I'm glad you looked to your left.
Oh, finally, something I know about.
So we're trying to, one of my friends, Armenian friends from Glendale, said, what happened with Brandy, Lori. Brandy
Love.
She was upset. She was a fan of yours because you defended her, but she was upset at everybody else. But Nikki Benz wants to come on. Okay, Nikki Benz wants to come and be a guest on Valuetainment. So I said, okay, great. So we're conversation, all this stuff. So she wants to be a guest because, believe it or not, she's a conservative. Okay. So go back and think about when first time you watched porn. So first time you watched porn, Gerard. 6, 7. I mean, what was it for you?
It was a sunny afternoon, a January
Kids,
Saturday.
Today, do not listen to today's podcast. Let me prep you. But do you actually remember how old you were? How old were you the first time?
Geez.
I can be honest with you,
yeah.
and you're going to think I'm a prude, but probably at a bachelor party for me. And
Okay.
I'm not joking. I just didn't have
25,
access.
22?
Yeah, in my 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I don't know how old I was, but I know I was young enough that you had to physically come up and change the television channels on the TV.
You were determined.
Okay.
No, I was a kid.
By the way,
and I tried to click the channels
we took today. We went to we made a right.
And it was do you remember the TV for people that don't know, before the internet existed, it would be on TV and it would be like all blacked out unless you paid for the channel. It would have, but you'd see like little snippets.
Well, especially in New York.
There'd be like little snippets that came out, and I remember being a kid being like, "Whoa,
you were watching
what is this, man?
Underground porn is what you were watching."
Was that my aunt's house?
But here's a question for you.
I was trying to get the Nickelodeon.
Here's a question for you. Did you watch porn first or did you have sex first?
Porn.
Okay. All right. So watch this. So imagine
hard copy, by the way, like Playboy, hard copy pornography.
Yeah, I got you. But what I'm saying to you is, if you watched porn before you had sex, you were somewhat messed up. Just so you know that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got it or not.
For sure.
So do you guys understand where I'm going with this?
100%, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is, if you watched porn, then you had sex. And let's just say the girl you had sex with, she'd been with others. She's like, what the hell is the matter with you?
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to any marriage counselor, that's destroying marriages.
Yeah.
That's
the
what I'm
fact that these
saying.
guys are
So
watching.
when does your friend come in? Do I ask her? Or?
I get questions from spouses that say, hey, we have a porn issue in the family. We would like to see how we can fix this porn issue, because everything is porn, and porn is more exciting than the real thing. But men have this thought. Pamela Anderson talked about it with her sons.
Yeah.
She said, I had to tell my boys, the way people have sex in porn is not how you have sex in bed. That's not what it is. So where am I going with this? If porn made young boys think this is a certain way of having sex that pleases people just because it's a video that people are screaming, and then you go in their bedroom and you're like, shit, that's the complete, maybe some of the stuff, but some of the stuff it's not. Then this goes back to the Taliban. How I brought porn.
Because the people in Afghanistan are getting it right now.
Stay with me. How I took this story from a gay club to porn back to this.
This is like a Biden speech came to life. It's like
hell of a lot more entertaining.
Come on, man.
The point I'm trying to make to you is influence. Influence. I'm telling you, my concern is influence. You leave people like this on, the wrong person who doesn't know is going to say, but how do you know? Yeah. But how do you know? But how do you, maybe America does suck. Maybe we don't. Maybe we are the ones that killed. Maybe we are a terrible empire. Maybe we are. That's the part that you have to be a little bit careful with. That's the part you have to be a little bit careful with.
There has to be reason, again, though, Pat, because people aren't getting on trash floats and heading into the ocean to escape evil America. People aren't clinging to their nails to the...
You know what their vision is? Okay, so what's the communist vision? Tell me communist vision.
Oh, man.
What's communist vision? To eliminate greed, to eliminate billionaires, to eliminate the rich, to eliminate the bourgeoisie.
I think that's BS. I think that their vision is their self-empowerment under the guise of
to control.
humanitarianism.
I think it's control and
control
force.
for sure.
But let me ask you a question. What's a socialist vision?
I don't see any difference between the two.
It's slightly different, but let's just say it's pretty close to each other, right? That's like 52nd Avenue, 53rd Avenue.
Sure. Socialism is just it's just the economic engine behind capitalism.
That.
I mean, communism.
But the Taliban? You think their vision is control and force? You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
No, that's not their vision.
It's an interesting thing with the Taliban and all these freedom fighters, though.
Yeah.
Because all they care about is eliminating authority.
Yeah.
And then what happens when all you've done your whole life is challenge authority and fight authority? Then you become the authority.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.